What's going on, champs? Hope you guys doing well. Happy Friday, Jummah Mubarak. Wishing you guys the best of success, best of health, best of happiness as well, and a happy weekend coming up in the next couple of days as well. So it's been a bit of a crazy one in terms of crypto. We had the the whole push up in the market. Now crypto's pulling back. We don't know what's going on. Is it a pullback? Is it over? We don't know, but we'll work it out. You know how it is. Working on lower time frame and whatnot, and looking at the higher time frame perspective and see what's possible. Is it going to be over? We don't know. Only time will tell. But what we can do though, in preparation if it's over, is how do we work this out? At the moment, I'm in a short on Ethereum. Those who follow me on Twitter will actually have seen it. So yeah. Fuck you know. Yeah, I'm in a short in Ethereum. So for those who are in the short thingy, would have actually seen it. So we'll work this out level to level then. So let's do the morning show actually. So we got Dave Basu, what's going on? We're live, man. Smash the likes, everybody. Yep. Shout out to Dave. We got Crypto Cruz. How you doing, my brother? Good to have you here as well. Stanley Badass is in the house. Dean Suleiman. We got David Bart, Mr. M, Adam, Bam Bam Bitcoin. Justin's in the house too as well. Skinface, how you doing, brother? Do you enjoy that short there? You got Jordan, Jungle Bush. Nah. I was just literally looking for my cigarettes. That's what I was looking for. I was trying to find my roll-ups. So I was like, fuck this, and let me grab my box instead. That's what it was. We got Bird League in the house. Good morning to you too, my bro. Vale's in the house too. Thank you so much for that. Thank you, Cruz. We're talking about like hair transplant. I was like, yeah, you know what? One thing about like about going in the future, the next couple of like months or years, well, years really actually. I'll be looking for a hair transplant in it. Like I'll be, one thing I'm it's not I'm proud of having hair, but like I don't want to see myself with that hair. Imagine my face just bald. I've got a small face in it because you know what? Because you got when you have a small face, you can't really go bald. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. That's the thing. It was yesterday. Hugh Janice in the house, Elena, Tony, Guna's in the house, man. But yeah, what's good, man? What's good? So let's get cracking then. So First off, we'll start looking at dollar index. As always, it's best to always look at dollar index, see what's going on, have an idea what's going on there. We're still in the channel, right? So at least we know what's going on in the coming day, well, today itself, what we can expect in actual fact. So we're still in the channel. Question is, do we come back? Because look, if you were to picture, this is the range high. Let me change the color. If you were to picture, this is the range high, and this is the range low, and then this is the mid range. We are back into the range. This is just a deviation now, right? We close into the range, right? We are finding resistance off the macro 25% of the range. The question is, do we reclaim and hold up a bit and squeeze it back up to come back into the top of the channel and then play back down? I don't know. And it just comes back into the mid range as well. Because as we, like I always say, when we play range bound environments, you play from the low to mid to high, right? So so that's what we're looking for. So if this goes up, if we start pushing up on the upside, what will happen is like with the stock markets and crypto will actually come back down, which is what we're seeing today, which is what we see actually saw yesterday. GDP looked good, right? Don't get me wrong, but pullbacks are pullbacks. If it's over, it's over. We don't know, but we're just gonna play what the market's saying at the moment. So, Mad Kapot, Catpat, Jojo, hello from Germany, Dortmund. Oh shit, you're from Dortmund? Yeah, but makes you kind of a bit like my enemy now, isn't it? Because I'm more of a Bayern fan, Munich guy. I'm a Munich geezer. I'm messing. I got a lot of love for you, man. PS1 Crash Bandicoot player. As I was telling you something, man. I was watching this. There's a new Crash Bandicoot 4 that came out last year. So I bought it on the PS5, man. And my God, it's so weird. It's very different because it's all 3D. I'm very used to like the whole blocky kind of, you know how Crash Bandicoot is. It's just up, left, and right. But then like this new one is like it's very 3D. So it's really it's I can't believe they actually made a Crash Bandicoot 4. That's how cool it is. I actually ended up buying it. It was I bought it during Christmas period. Yeah, Christmas was when I bought it as well. When I saw it on the PS, I'm like, yo, gotta get this, man, innit? But thank you for coming, man. I really appreciate that you're here, Mad Cat. Appreciate that, man. So yeah, so we're looking at that. Are we going to actually push up higher? We don't really know, but let's start zooming into it. I mean, we're still into the trend line over here. So let's just zoom into it and briefly see what's going on in the 15 minutes. And just bear in mind, right? I want you to bear in mind one thing. Let's just remove all this shit first, right? Now I'm going to actually put all this first, okay? You know what? I'm going to zoom into it first. I should have done that. I should have zoomed into it. That's an idiot. It's an idiotic move to do, right? So we've got range low, as we can see. All I'm doing is taking it from the highs and the lows. That's all it was, okay? There's nothing too complicated there, okay? Everyone's with me so far? We've got the mid-range from the Fibonacci. Really, really easy. All I'm doing is just tracing this up, and I'm going to get rid of all this mess, right? So that it just makes it nice and simple so everyone can understand what's going on. So that's one. Cool. And the thing is, right? So the week started off here, right? The week started off this push, and we dropped all the way down, all right? So I want you to imagine this, right? So understand one thing. When you have a push of the market and we break out our Monday's range, okay? So it's a little alpha that I'm going to share out to you guys now, okay? So Monday was what day? Today is the 28th minus 4 is 24. Let me double check. It is the 24th, right? Yeah, 24th was on the Monday. So 24th was right over here, okay? So this is the Monday's low, and that will be the Monday's high, okay? So I'm going to highlight this. That's Monday's low, and that's Monday's high. So although we got a range bound environment, right here, this is a range bound environment, everyone can agree with that. We also got Monday's range over here in this area here. So if you were day trading, what day trading does, right? So on the Monday we got a push up, right, on dollar index, and then come back down. And then what happens? We lost that. We lost Monday's low, complete smash. We never really retested it there. So the question is it coming back for a retest? Which makes sense on a Thursday, Friday to actually do that. It's profit taking time. So the dollar index, right? What that means is your forex, the forex market, like your USD will go up, GBP USD will go up. Those against USD will go up, just like BTC USD will go up, right? So it makes sense for this. So for us to break out. So you know things were going up on the Tuesday, the Wednesday. And it just happens, right, at the end of the week, right, it's like you want to get paid. If you want to get paid, what do? You start taking profit. Now, if you're taking profits on longs, right, what happens to the market? Taking profits on the market, start dumping the, like, Euro, dumping Bitcoin, dumping Ethereum, dumping Solana, dumping all, you're dumping your bags on that, right? And as that happens, that in turn, the dollar index start pushing up, just like the crypto and ES start going to start pushing down. And what happened is we started looking for key areas. So we were saying yesterday quite carefully that there was a scenario here. Is this a deviation or a retest, right? We didn't know yesterday, but he clearly showed us that we came back into the range, did a deeper pullback, and we just start running up. And it is showing us some sort of like of potential to move up higher. We are finding some sort of resistance right here, right? Now, for me to say, okay, we're going to go back into bearish mode is if we get back below this SR, find resistance. Why? Because this was support. Then we lost it, right? We come back into it, we smash into it, but which means that if anything, it was going to be find resistance. It will find support off this because we broke above it. Does that make sense? If we broke above it, right, and support, I think resistance becomes support, we should find support. But if this is a deviation, right, then we should find it go back below it. So we're going to find this key area in the next couple of, I don't know, half an hour or so. Watch it during the New York time as well, over the next hour to see what happens, how we react. If we start breaking down below it and find resistance, then we're going to come back down, which gives us some breathing space on ES, breathing space on crypto, okay? But my key area that I'm quite interested in is that the fact that we come back into this range high to range low, we come back into the range, we're still in this range bound environment. So which means we're going to play from the low to where? To the mid. But on the way to the mid, there's always going to be areas of resistance. It's just like, imagine like, you're on your way to school, right? Or you're on your way to work. Yeah, let's do it like that. I don't think there's anyone here who's 13 in this chat. You're on your way to work, right? And you're just trotting along to work, driving to work, right? And some dickhead decides to come out of nowhere and just cuts you out. It's kind of a bit of a deviation. It's like you have two options. Either you honk at him, and you want to get out the car and knock him out. Like this, like some I don't know. Some people do that. Like nowadays, they still do that. You can see it on YouTube. It's quite crazy some of the stupid things people do, or you just ignore it and just carry on going to work, right? If you carry on going to work, you're going back to Monday's mid-range, okay? If you're gonna get out your car and decide to have a little scrap, then you do something like this, right? You find some sort of resistance. If you get beaten up, right, then you're going back to the fucking hospital, go back home, right? That's what it really is. So we're now at key areas that we need to worry about. But this Monday's low is what's intriguing as well, because we had a clean smash. It only makes sense to have a retest, right? So to me, I'm still leaning to bullish on the dollar index, lower time frame. If it's bullish on the lower time frame, what that means is we're going to go up higher, and as we go higher, then the question is, do we step back into it, hold into it, go back to the mid-range of this, and then squeeze up to the mid-range of the macro range that we got over here. Does that make sense, everybody? Thank you so much for that, Cruz. What's going on, Justin Waters? How you doing, brother? So that's what we're looking for dollar index. And like I always say, like I start with dollar index. Why? Because it's quite important for us to understand what's the next move is going to happen. What's the outcome going to actually push out for crypto? Because we have to understand what dollar index is doing, have at least have some sort of understanding, so we are better prepared for whether we're longs or shorts. Okay, so that's that. So then if we come back into Monday's mid-range, we'll see what happens. We know like the weekly close is coming up, so it's really key important to see what happens by tonight. Ronnie Pickering. Ronnie Pickering. Right, so that's it pretty much. That's dollar index. That's the only thing that we're going to talk about in terms of like lower time frame, and just work it out there, level to level, nothing else, nothing changed. Okay, so that's dollar index. Let's move on. And if we were to get back below it, then find resistance, come back down to range low, and then see if we can get back below, find resistance off this key area there. So let me just draw this out properly. So off this low there, because as you can see, we have some support, all this support, bit of a deviation there. Once we get back below it, happy days. That's your bearish market structure, and off we go. Let's keep going, and you can short the market back. Short dollar index, which basically means you're longing everything apart from that goes against dollar index. What I mean against dollar index is like, look, BTC against the USD. That's the dollar index, right? So the dollar index is it's an index of all like currencies, such as like in majority is euro, and you'd be like euro / USD, which means if the dollar index goes up, then BTC USD will go down, Euro USD goes down. Everything against USD will go down. If the dollar index starts to go down, and then BTC starts to go up, and the Euro USD will go up, and everything against the USD would tend to go up. Okay, does that make a bit of sense? Eyes looking pink, fam. You're telling me I got pink eye, fam? I ain't got pink eye, fam. Nah, I ain't smoked in the morning, man. It's Friday. It's Friday morning. I probably smoke up late. Oh man, do you like to hear something though? I entered into an Ethereum short yesterday. I was very adamant on an Ethereum short. I talked about that in the stream yesterday. I was very clear that I was like, yeah, I'm leaning bearishness. I kept saying that. It's like leaning bearishness, red eye. Fam, now you're changing it to red eye now. First is pink eye, now red eye. All-time high tomorrow. I need to kick that off. Do you know what? I don't know. I'm gonna have to. There's a few things. I've got a lot of planning to do. There's a lot of things I've got to work out. But I will get back to. I do want to do the all-time high. All-time high as in like stick on the PlayStation on as well at the same time and just chill out kind of thing or whatever. See if we can get some like players online, play Tekken here and there, FIFA or whatever, Call of Duty as well, and we can play live with other members of the community. So we'll see what happens. But like I need to get an Elgato stream or something like that. I'm not too sure. There's a few things I need to work out. But I do have Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, so I'm looking forward to actually play this later on the day. So I got to focus on the markets before I even play the game. Yeah. So I was saying before I got sidetracked. I was actually playing the I was playing what you call it, fucking no. So I got high yesterday. Okay, stupidly I got high, and I was really leaning bearishness on crypto itself, right? So I entered a short quite like stupidly a bit too earlier than necessary. Where's my short? It's right here. Here. And the thing is, right, someone in the group, I entered a short at 15:56, and someone like in the group they were asking me like, but Daink, why'd you enter so like they asked me this last night. They're like, yo, but Daink, why'd you enter like now at this time and not like on a breakout or whatever? And the fact is, right, the truth is I got high and I was like, I knew it was a short because why? Which we're going to discuss in a bit. You see this area consolidation right there? This was finding resistance. And the fact that we found resistance over here once, resistance there, a bit of a deviation, resistance. I was looking for one more retest over here to enter in. That's the honest fact. I got high. I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's go in for a short stop. Like, you know, for me, the stop loss was up right over here because I was expecting this to actually hold down as well. Because if I show you, little alpha for you guys as well. So this particular candle there was acting as resistance, and it does hold out. You see resistance, 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 deviation, and I was looking for one more wick into it, and then take the short here, stop loss over here. But I entered it a bit too early, and then what happened was I was chilling out, right? I was just chilling out, having a cigarette and stuff like that, watching the market, and I see a massive ass motherfucking spike go up. I'm like, yo, what the fuck happened here? And I was like, oh shit, it was GDP. I even talked about GDP in the fucking in the stream. How did I enter so late? Because this would have been a perfect time to enter in with a tight stop over here, and that would have been a perfect invalidation. I mean, look, right now, I mean, I'm looking for a fucking 5.57 hour move. I mean, if I was smart about it and actually entered around here, would have made it like a fucking, let's say, would have been about a good 9 hour move. But never mind. Sometimes you win some, you lose some. We'll talk about ES in the meantime. I have taken small profits at the moment around here. But I'm gonna watch how this. I brought my stops to break even now. So if we break at this high, let's say, so if we break at this high and hold above it, I'm gonna cut the trade before it even comes back. So that's what I'm looking for, because that's the mid range. But we'll talk about Ethereum in just a moment there. Okay, just a moment. First, we're gonna talk about ES first. Okay. See, the thing is, a lot of people talking about FTX Medicap. A lot of people talk about like FTX. I've used FTX once to short Cope. Don't know if you remember Cope. I shorted Cope, right, and I used FTX there. It was really complicated. I ain't gonna lie to you. It was a bit complicated for me as well. But like Binance, you can use Binance in the thingy. I would prefer Binance personally. Me personally, I would prefer Binance over. If you can use Binance at your country, by all means, use Binance actually. But yeah, you already high Derry. Fucking hell, man. You're starting COD thingy, Morningstar. Yeah, dude. You know what? Send me your PSN, all of you guys on it, right? And like, if you and like, message me in the DCC. I wanna post in my PSN later on, and we just freaking let's smash some card later. That Binance, but my country go limited. FTX. You know what? If you could look, end of the day, right? It doesn't really matter if you're using FTX, Binance, Bybit, or all these other exchange, shorting at the end of the day. Vegeta, my man. Vegeta, my good friend, have you got Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2? That's the important question right now. Because we don't really give a shit about the market. We just care about Call of Duty. What's going on, David? How you doing? Beatnik's in the house, man. Beatnik's a lovely guy. I love that guy. He's such a cool geezer. So, ES quickly. What's going on with ES? Like I said yesterday, expecting a pullback. I actually talked about this quite briefly as we spiked up into this area here. Let me show you that. So the area we're looking at was this particular low there, and look what happened there. Final resist deviation, gets back up, deviates it, those lower highs, quick stop run, starts to make lower highs. This is all shows me distribution, and what happened is bang, start to lose it there. So happy days, shorts are in play. I mean, I entered in yesterday. Busy playing FIFA. You're a FIFA man. I ain't got FIFA 23 though, which is weird. Call of Duty, bro. It's when you take a shit. That's what Call of Duty is about. So where's the price holding on support right now? It's off this particular high right now. So that's what's holding the markets. The price is capped between these two lows, and sorry, the low and the high. That's where the price is capped in. Now, if it was to be bullish, you see this particular high. If we reclaim it, then we'll come back to range high. But I'm looking for this particular high to act as resistance, to play it back down, come back into this area here, and then from there we'll see what happens then. Okay, you've got a PS5. Don't worry about it. I don't think you need a PS5. As long as you got PS4. Yeah, I think PS4 is, if you got a PS4, you can still play. It's not a problem. Daink, when I'm sick is saying, Daink, when I'm building a small account, what type of goal should I have? Like, let's say starting off with $200 US dollar. Should I gain 30% every day, or what type of daily goals did you have? Okay, that's a good point. So getting 30% every day is not an easy task. Let's be honest with that. So you're talking about, it depends on your risk in it. So like 30% every day, you're asking that you're making $260 off a trade in terms of profit. in terms of making a goal, right? I would at first I used to be like, yeah, I want from $200, I want to hit it to $1,000 really quickly, then hit to 10, then 10 to 100 and a million, 10 million. These are the kind of numbers you start playing in your head, and it's really easy to get suckered into numbers. What I would always say is like, don't ever get suckered into numbers. I hate when people talk about numbers. You know, like when people say like, yeah, I want to get this, or you know, for example, if I said to you that I'm opening up a business. Now in this business, right, I'm selling I don't know, PlayStation games. I'm selling PlayStation games in this scenario, right? Like it's very easy. People think like, oh, there's so many people who actually loves PlayStation games and who want to buy games, and you can make £10,000 a day, £20,000 a day, or £20,000 a month, that kind of stuff. That's not the point. That's not the point. A business, right? Like, you have to remember, when you're trading, it's a business. You're not gonna get 10,000, 20,000 in a day or in a month. It's not gonna work like that. It takes a long time. There's a lot of planning, a lot of work behind it as well. So what I would say is, in terms of goals, is instead of actually having daily goals in your head, have the benchmark. So your benchmark is from $200, and you want to build it up to 500. From 500, that's to 1,000, 1,000 to 5,000, 5,000 to 10,000. That's the type of goal I would have, because you have to remember, you might have a great trading day today, but tomorrow it might be really bad and you might make a loss. And then what will happen is, if you make a loss, or you lose an R or 2 Rs in a day, then what will end up happening is that you start playing in your head. You're like, I want to hit my target. I need to get 30%. I need to get. Don't do that. Don't get suckered into it. Have a strict rule, which is like, the rule for me, I've said to the guys, is just like, have the targets in mind. Like, have the targets in mind of where the benchmark is. It's like when you have Twitter, everyone wants to get like 100,000 followers, but before you get to 100,000 followers, you need to get to 100 to 500, 500 to 1,000, 1,000, then get to 3,000, then keep building. So take it time, slowly. You got nothing but time, and don't overcomplicate your system. Don't make it harder for yourself. Just be very, very careful on how you play this. Like what I show over here in on the stream, I'll give you the ideas, I'll give you the plans. You also have your plans too as well. So it's really important that you know what you're doing, and don't over risk. Risk management is really important as well. What I mean by risk management is basically that this goes for everyone. It even goes to me. Sometimes I actually enter trades, and there has been moments where I've slightly over risked, right? Instead of like a normal 1R, I've gone over a little bit more because of calculation errors. That's what it comes down to, really. It's not really going to come down to me trying to say, yeah, I want to make more money, because what you don't want to do is this, right? Is you want to be strict with risk management, like, which is, if you're risking, let's just say you're risking, I don't know, like on a $200 account, you're risking 5% of the account, which is about $10 you're risking. You're risking $10. You make a trade and you got 1R. That's another five. So you just made $10 there. Make another trade, and this time you made 2R. That's $30 in profit today. Happy days. It's really, really beautiful, right? Everyone's, you're living life. You feel like you're king because you get the trades correctly. 2 trades in a row. But what happened is, right, if you lose a trade and you lose $10, right? No, sorry. So like you got those two trades, and you made $30. And you're like, don't suck it into the idea of like, you know what? Instead of risking 5%, I'm gonna risk 10%. When you start doing that, when you start saying to yourself, I'm gonna risk a little bit more, is what you're saying is that I'm happy to take a dildo up my ass and then take a big ass fat, like smack in the face all at the same time. That's what you're saying. You really are saying that, because what I mean by that is that if the trade goes wrong, you did not lose 5%, you didn't lose $10, you end up losing $20 now. And then that gain of $30 is now gone to $10. Was it really worth it? And on top of that, your asshole is stretched out because you just took a big fat dildo there. Is it really worth it? You know what I'm saying? Just take your time. Just take your time. Be strict with your management. No matter, like there are moments. You guys have seen some of these, 27 Rs. They don't come all the time. Let me tell you this straight. Those 27 Rs, 13 Rs, they don't come all the time every week. I just got quite lucky at the right time on the right place, looking at what the market is. The market was looking for it to go down, and I took the short. I just got in really, really aggressively. I went in a full 1R, and that was it. Now, I could have easily said, if I risk, I'm just giving an example, if I risked $100 on this, $100 on a 27R, that's now $2,700, which is a lot of money. It's a lot of money. I could have thought, fucking hell, I could have risked I should have risked like $1,000. This is how the market suckers it in and makes us feel like we're invincible. We're not invincible. No one's invincible. God is the only thing that will put you down really, really quickly. So you feel like I could have thought like, okay, I made $2,700 off this 27-hour trade. If I had put in $1,000, I would have made $27,000. No, wait, if I go to $10,000, right, I would have made $270,000 off that trade. That's $250,000. So you know what? Fuck it. The next trade, I'm gonna risk $10,000. You see how stupid that is from $100, right, to $10,000 has come up to. I've not just risked an extra 5% or whatever. I risked like 100x. That's how dumb that can be. And then what happens in the next trade? I'm liquidated. I'm done. And I'm like, guys, you know what? It's a pleasure actually meeting you guys. But we're gonna be out of service on the Trader Daink show for a little while. So I'll catch you guys soon. Wish you the best of luck. I'll see you in the bull run. That's what's gonna happen. That's what's gonna happen. And it's not really fair. It's not fair. It's not fair on anyone because you guys tune in to actually understand what's going on and play it level to level. Okay? So do not get suckered in with risk. Be very, very strict with risk. No matter how good you are, you may be the goat of all goats, right? The goat could be eating your ass as well at the same time because that's how goatish you are. But at the same time, stick to your risk management. You think like people like JP Morgan. I mean, don't look at Sailor Moon in it. Sailor, he's a fucking bellend if you ask me, right? Like this guy doesn't understand risk management by the looks of it because he keeps buying the dip. But at the same time, what you need to do is just be strict to a strict number, right? The guys in the DCC knows exactly what I'm talking about. We did a session on risk management, and I always said to him, I gave him a key of if you want a quick way to how to build an account. I told him that, but at the same time, there's rules. I have rules. My rules, for example, and I'll share that to you, is if I lose 2 hours in the day, I'm done for the day. I won't take a trade. I'll watch the market. I'll just walk away. Most likely I'll walk away. But because I've got the, guys in the group and whatnot, I have to I'm always around as well. But alhamdulillah, so far, I haven't lost 2 hours in a day in a little while. I've been because what happened is once I lose the first hour, I'm more cautious to enter the second trade. That's the guys. The guys will tell you. Because the guys, I'm leaning bullish or bearish of this trade and whatever. And I know it. But at the same time, it's like, I lost an R. I don't want to lose another R. It's not worth it. Whether it's $100 or $1,000 or $10,000, it's still money. Money to be lost is not a good thing. No one wants to lose money. Losing money sucks ass a lot. Right? We can all agree with that. Elaine saying, I'm learning trading and the downfall I've experienced a few times now is after a big win, you up the R because you're feeling confident and you lose the hard work. 100%. Elaine is like, listen to Elaine. If you don't want to listen to me, listen to Elaine. Elaine's saying facts. Absolute facts. Binnick saying, can you give me some feedback on my 1 minute scalp Eve long in Discord questions and say what you think? Maybe it is too long to take now, but later would be awesome to see if it's is it legit or not. Yeah, we can do that. If you want me to, I can. Yeah, we can. I can definitely have a look at that for you, 100%. Just you tag me into it. If you tag me into it, I'll definitely have a look at it. But yeah, 100%. I can have a look at it. Scalping does take a little while, so don't think that you can learn scalping over like a week or two. It does take a little while. I mean, very few people that I know can scalp, but it does take a lot of practice. So don't worry, don't be disheartened if I actually beat Nick if I go hard on you, but we're gonna be alright. So we're talking about thingy. Oops. Yes. So where was it? There we go. Yes. So we're looking at what's going on here. We can see we're getting pushed down over here. So these are the two areas we're looking at: this high and this low here. And this, it just turns out this high here is the mid range between those two. So as you can see right now, we found resistance off the mid range. We'll come back down to range low. I want to see us lose this range low there. That's all it is. So we'll see how it goes. It is the New York session's coming up soon. So we play it level to level. That's done. ES is done. Weekly, I mean, it makes the same. It's the same plan. Look at 24th was the high, right? The 24th. Oh shit. 24th. So you're telling me this is so what I'm saying, right? What the fuck? Is it? Oh shit. Motherfuckers. Alright, let's have a look at this. So what I'm saying is this is where's the high? That was the high. You might not like this. You guys might not like this actually. This is Monday's high. and this is Monday's low. What happens? Remember the rules? Range bound environment, breakout. Not a retest because come back in, shanks back below into Monday's range, and he retests off the Monday's high, break it back down to range low. Liquidity is taking out Monday's high, the liquidity resting over here. And you always got to ask yourself, when we play in a range bound environment, so this is a range bound environment, right? When we break out, we expect a retest and expansion, right? But what happens when we have consolidation and breakout and we come back into the range? You gotta ask yourself, the fuck you doing back in the range? Because what happens is you can come back into range low, mid range, and then range low, and it just so happens that's what's happening. So ES doesn't look good. If ES doesn't look good, I don't think crypto's looking good. So I'm quite happy. Yeah, Bruce is saying it 100%. The fuck you doing back in the range? Yo, Joe Crate, what's good, brother? Vale saying it's shanked. It is fucking shanked, isn't it? He's got shanked and left on the fucking floor. So it's an interesting point over here. So I'm not a fan of this, you know, because the question, right? Everyone wants to know how high does crypto go. Well, it comes down to what ES goes, right? Let's have a look at ES, right? Just briefly touch base on ES, right? If I just put this on the 4 hours, and it gives us some sort of like of idea of what to expect and how to play, and timing it with Bitcoin, right? We are coming to the monthly close. Monthly close is on Monday actually, so we do expect some pullback here. It's not a problem there because we're above the monthly open, no problem. You know, we had the wicks. This would have been the wick over here, and then the body is closing over here, and that's the wick of the high. So it makes sense. It's not a problem there, right? But looking at like key levels, what's causing problems? Number one, this is number one. Oops. Yeah, this is number one, right? That'll be fuck off. This one over here. That's number one. That's at one key level. The second key level I'll be looking for, it's around here. That's the next key level right there. As you can see, when we lost this low, this area here was the last high, sent the market back down, shanked the fuck out of it, and we come back up on resistance, grind above it, deviates it, hold support, gets up, hold support, shoots up, right? Doesn't come back as a retest, a clean retest, comes back down, shanks it down. When we come for a retest, we do a deviation and then shank it off. So what I'm saying is, if we see price reclaim this level here, you can expect crypto to start pushing up on the upside as well, and then you will be timing it with ES as we approach this level, because this could be the next macro lower high, right, for us to come back down, right? So just time this area here and time this area here. So you have these two bars, this bar over here and you have this bar over there. So you have these areas that you're working out. So just keep an eye on them and watch it how it works, level to level, see what we do. So that's that there. Really. That's pretty much it. It is the weekly close coming up anyway. So I mean, weekly close, what's going on? Looks fucking shit though. How is this bullish? Fucking hell. Jesus Christ. Allahu Akbar. You know what? It just, yeah, look at this. We've literally just retested off this. And this is what we call an order block. So it makes sense for a retest and a pullback. Question is, do we pull back into this area of consolidation and find support and then catapult back up and hold support? We don't know. We'll find out as price unfolds. We'll have to look for Monday itself. But yeah, Amazon, Jordan's talking about Amazon stocks volatility yesterday after missing earnings. It dumped fucking horribly. Meta dumped horribly. You know, a lot of these big companies, right, are getting smacked the fuck up, that's what happened. They're getting smacked up left, right, and center, and this financial crisis at the moment is not being very soft on anybody, on anybody's pocket. So it's gonna be a bit nasty in my opinion. So I'm interested to see if this was the high for us to go back down, and if once we lose this low, it's over. Then we definitely know that was a high. So I am in the short on Ethereum, like I said. Well, let's work out Bitcoin, see what Bitcoin is doing, and then we go from there. Okay. So Bitcoin. Well, let's just talk about this now. This particular range here. Why have I got this range in particular? So this high over here and this low here, this is where price was consolidating here. Majority of the price has been in this bar over here. What I mean is that if you were to count up the amount of time we were in here, or here, and these wicks in there, and even this body here, is more powerful than anywhere else compared to these prices out above, below, and below, right? So this is where the consolidation is. Price has been consolidating in this area here, all right? So we had a deviation on the upside, resistance, we'll come down for support, deviation on the downside. So we're gonna see how this works out. The weekly close to 2 days, because if we close below the fucking this range, then this was all fucking shit. Then that was it. It was over. You know, that's it. Forget your 21Ks, forget your 22Ks and 23s and 24Ks. It could be over. You know, so we don't know exactly in it. So let this level to level, see what happens. Weekly close is quite important, but you see how the fact that how we spiked all the way up to the mid range, and then we're spiking back down. Yuck. I ain't gonna lie to you, it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. You know why? Because what we tend to, when we look for a range bound environment, let me show you. So this is on the daily. So look at the daily. Daily is coming over here. We've got a consolidation of this area here, right? So let me just hide this, right? So obviously we know we've got, let's have a look. Where's the, yeah, I know where it is now. Okay. So you see this area here, that's consolidation. This was the area where price has been consolidating for about a month, over a month really as well. So we had some resistance, then a deviation, resistance, support, support. Everyone agrees with that, okay? So, and then it just so happens that we've taken out these highs there. So it's showing us bullish market structure, so which is nice, okay? So we can say, yeah, it's nice. But what happens now? We've lost this low here, right? So you see this particular high here. What's so key about this high? That was resistance, 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 resistance. Smashed above it, deviates it back down. We close inside, and now looking at a retest, play back down into this area here, which makes sense because we've got this inefficiency here. Does it fill it out? Will be interesting there. And then once we get back to here, that's the key area that we need to see what happens. Do we come? Because we need to start working out what's the next things that can happen. If we were to be bullish, this is how we'd be looking for. You see this area here? This price action there. What I would like to see is price come back down, hold above it, bullish market structure. And then I say long your fucking longs. Let's go back to target 1, break above it, take out these highs, and fill it, come back into this area here. And that fills out an efficiency there. So we potentially could get a nice pullback for those who actually, you know, because when you see these fast move up, I'm not convinced that that it's good. These fast moves up in a bullish market, in a bearish market, sorry, it's quite the opposite. It's the opposite of what we're looking for. A grind up is one thing, but a fast spike up. How many alts have you seen that spiked up? Look at XRP. Didn't XRP was spiked at the 52 cents? Where's it sitting at? 45 cents. What the fuck is that about? Are you talking 60, 70 cents? I mean, laugh here. What else? Only Doge popped up to 80 cents, obviously. 80 cents, 8 cents. Reason being is because of obviously the whole Elon Musk thing as well. So definitely is a buy there in terms of a culture. You know, it's really a buy culture because of Elon Musk buying Twitter. I think he's finalizing the deal. So we see what happens there. So we have to see how this works. If this, in terms of a bullish market structure, a bullish scenario, this will be the bullish scenario that you'd be looking for. But at the same time, what happens if we do this? Let me just delete that. If price comes back down, finds resistance and breaks down, off we do. Come back to the mid range, lose this there, come back to the low, take out the highs because it's this area here is taking out the highs over there, and now we've got this liquidity resting here. How many liquidities resting here? There's a lot. I'm guessing there's a lot of people just getting long. At the end of the month, at the end of the fucking month, you're long. Who are you fooling? Just noobs, you know what I'm saying? I mean, we'll see how it goes. I mean, a lot of people has been saying like, oh, you know, you gotta be, it's bullish, it's breakouts. Yeah, I get it, but I'm playing lower time frame. I don't really give a shit about, you know, going any further. Reason being because I'm not convinced that we're gonna go up to all-time high. I am no way convinced that all-time high is going on. Forget your metrics, forget your on-chain metrics, because I was telling the guys about on-chain metrics. You know, I explained to them what on-chain metrics is all about and why they're so bullish as well. Because the numbers are bullish, but it's a hodl, it's a long term. They've been bullish since 60k, 69k. I was bullish too. I'm not gonna say I wasn't, but there's a period of time you've got to say, hang on a second, change it. And like all our focus at the last since April, March is really, March, April time. I've just been focusing on lower time frame basis, 15 minutes, 5 minutes, 1 minute, scalp the shit out of it because that's all it is, and just play the game. So well, I don't expect like to be bullish right now. But it's like that ping pong ball, right? Like it's like, you know, you just play, if it comes back into this range, we just play back into this range until further notice. So that's BTC really. Let's try and find the levels. Let's see what the levels are saying. Bring this up. What do we have here? So yeah, I mean we didn't come to the mid range. At least I would have liked to see this. The very minimum of this area there. I like to see this come up there. If it had come up into this area here, spiked into this, and then sell off, it would have made sense. But never mind. So we'll see what happens on BTC. 15 minutes. Let's have a look. Alright, so let me delete this up for a second. And just look at this. What's this? That's the monthly open. Yep, that's monthly open. Now, can you see this? What's happening right there? After 25% of the range, what we're doing? Just focus on this PA right here. Okay, I just want you to focus on this PA right here. So we've spiked up, you know, with a fast spike up, right? A really fast spike up, comes up to 25%. There's a deviation, pulls back, resistance, comes back up, resistance, gets back up, resistance, resistance, and then it starts spiking up. Once we get back up, we hold above that high. See this high here? This particular high? We start holding this high, bullish. It's showing us on the lower time frames, giving bullish market structure. Take out these highs, bang, pops up, and it comes back as a retest of this particular high. So then once you got this particular high now if I were to mark out these highs there, these little key levels, we're going to bring them across and see what the importance of those levels as they actually, you know, as price unfolds. So price finds resistance, take out this high, then we know this is another high that we need to be aware of, because this high was at, you know, it was the initial high after the breakout of here, of this. So then price gets up and it starts to be choppy. It's choppy, it's choppy, it's choppy, it's choppy. It's just pivoting off this area. You see this high here? It just moves around this high. It's up and down, up and down, up and down. It's like, you know, it's like you come back from work, right? And you just want to come home and all you want to do is actually probably just drink a beer, watch TV, or I don't know, have a cigarette or whatever. Speaking about cigarette, I'm going to light up one too as well. But then the thing is, right, you got that clingy ass girlfriend, you know, that clingy girlfriend, but she's a freak in bed, don't get me wrong, but she's just too clingy, and sometimes you just come home, you had a long ass day at work, and you're like, bro, just leave me alone, fam. I just want to smoke my cigarette in peace. But nah, she wants to hug you, she wants to give you cuddles and kisses and stuff like that, until you say, you know what, fuck you, bitch, and then you smack you down, and that's what happens. And that's what happens right there. You know, like, picture it like that, and it's a bit, thingy, it's a bit of a, once the bull market starts, all this will be used less. He said we won't know how to trade the trend. Well, that's his opinion, but the trend is the trend. Like, look, trends is like this. This is a trend. But anyway, everyone has their own opinion. I'm not too sure about that. But in the bull market, right? How do you know when to take profits and exit the market? You know, that's the question you need to worry about. Like, look, again, you have to remember, I said this before, there's two types of different traders. There's fundamental traders and there's technical analysis traders. That's the thing is, right? So in the fundamental, yes, I agree. In the bull market, things go up and up and up and up and up. But there's also an element of when people actually have private sales. When you have private sales and you got $10,000 on a private sale, and on the launch, you're going to dump your tokens. You tell me. How many coins like Superfarm has gone up? Bondly went up stupidly. What was the other one? The IOs went up stupidly. All these private sellers just dumped their tokens and never recovered. You know, like, look, we can talk about that like as a separate thing. Let's have a look. IOs. I know IOs was a big one. I you know, it was a really big one, but I wasn't in personally myself. But look at that. This was IOs pumped up. You would need some sort of element of technical analysis to understand what's going on. So look at this high here. This is the initial high after the launch. Look what happened. Resistance comes up, smashes up. Once we close below it, what happened is this is just a deviation. So you still need some element of technical analysis. And then if you bought in around here, you're gonna have to cut your losses around there. You know, take your profit. So once you look, especially, right? For those during the bull market were still buying. People were still buying, right? But what happens when we lose this area? See this particular low there? I would say, no, I'd say this low. Yeah. What happened here? We lost this low, come back down, resistance, spiked up, but we closed on the daily below it. It was not showing bullishness. Then we have a bit of a deviation, lower highs, bang, sells off. So you do need to have some sort of element of understanding technical analysis to get you out of positions, because what you don't want to do is feeling under the idea of bullish, and then what happened is you bought in and you haven't learned anything from me, because you haven't learned anything. Remember how many people was so in the bull market was buying in, never took profits, taking profits. You need to understand technical analysis. And if you haven't understanding technical analysis, you know where you'll be taking profits. So if you bought off here, for example, right, and you're watching price to go up, at this area here, you gotta take some off the table there, right, because it's gonna be resistance. Once we get back up, fine. If you haven't taken profits over here, no problem, because you're thinking, all right, price at 36 cents, because this is what the bull season does. It makes you move from 36 cents to $3.60 to $5, $10. These are the numbers you start working at. You start working at round numbers. You don't work around particular areas. Like if I were to do this, right? Let's just do this, right? So let me use this high here to this low here. And the guys in the DCC should know exactly what I'm talking about. 1.5. And I'm guessing that 1.5, we wicked into it, we lost it. I'm just saying this. 1.5. This using technical analysis in a bull season. 1.5. I'm going to say this number 1.5. Now let's just show what's going on. If I draw in the 1.25, the what is it? The 1.5, the 1.75, and the 2, what happens? We come up, so we go straight up to 2. We go up to 2, right? Which this range is a copy of that range. So we have to take some profits at 2. 1.5, we come into there, and then we lose this completely. You know what I mean? Do you get what I'm saying? At the end of the day, right? Other people has an opinion. That's entirely up to them. I'm not here to say that, they're wrong. They might be right. Fair play to you, right? But what I'm saying to you is, if you can understand technical analysis, you are ahead of the game by most people. Because the problem is with being in the bull market is that everyone wants round numbers. How many people got into let's just say your account grew up to $80,000, and then he popped up to $200,000, and $200,000 you saw $500,000, and you start saying, yo, you know what, I want 1 million. You get to 1 million, you're like, I want 5 million. You get to 3 million, you're like, I want 5 million. But you're not thinking of the idea, hang on a second, technical analysis wins. It always wins. It always wins. You can use technical analysis in the bull season, use technical analysis in the bear season. Dollar index is in the bull season. Are we not using technical analysis? You know what I'm saying? Dollar index is in the bull season. It's in the bull mode. We're still using technical analysis. So there's an element to both. I haven't discredited either side, But what I would say is that if you have an understanding of technical analysis, by all means. And if you don't want to actually, if you don't want to actually learn technical analysis, that's not a problem. It's not my problem. It's all entirely up to you. I bought some NFTs and under some. I bought some NFTs. They were bullshit, man. Some bullshit NFTs, man. I spent dollars on NFTs. The only NFT I'm gonna buy is the Bored Ape Yacht. Let me show you this. The Bored Ape Yacht. That's what I'll be looking for. Let me show you this. I want to buy it at 14 ETH, 14.5 ETH. It's now worth $100,000. So I'm looking to buy $6,000. Look at that. See what I mean? Even this, I can use technical analysis. Technical analysis it has an importance, just like fundamentals. Fundamentals has an importance. I've never disregarded it. There is an element of fundamentals. So looking at Solana, the power rate. Look at Solana fundamentally. Was going to be an ETH killer. What happened? Not an ETH killer. It's a shit killer. That's what it did. So, look at there's always going to be these fundamentals that are going to try and trick you in the idea of this is going to be an ETH killer. This is going to be a Bitcoin killer. This is going to be, I don't know, BNB killer. This is going to be an XRP killer. That's what they love to use. They use this word killer. The word killer comes in the fundamental page. But if you really are fundamentally going to be strong, you wouldn't be yes, it's competition. That's why you want to be better. You want it to be better than than Ethereum. You want to be better than BME or Solana or whatever, right? This is the key point. But however, these coins run during bull season. You know what I'm saying? They're not an ETH killer. Ethereum has been here for God knows how long. It's been here for many years, but it's not getting killed. 2017 they tried to do an ETH killer. 2021 they tried to do an ETH killer. 2025 they're going to do another ETH killer. 2029 they're going to do another ETH killer. 2033 they're going to do another ETH killer. But Ethereum stays the top. You know what I'm saying? You can't go wrong. They're always going to say they're going to be an ETH killer. There's going to be this killer. There's going to be that killer. But end of the day, what happened? Solana is one of the shittest network out there. It just has crashes upon crashes upon crashes. That's a fundamental basis right there. You know, even with fundamentals, you can tell that it was shit. You know, if you're having network outages, that's not a good thing. That's not a good thing that you're having a network outage. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not a fundamentalist, but even I can say that's kind of shit. And that's why Solana's at $30 and Ethereum's at $1,500. There's a big difference there. So that's the thing. Let's see. You think I still think the board ape is going down. I think it's going down. Look at this. This is the trend line. We lost the trend line. This price spiked up, but a bit of a deviation. Support goes up. Support goes up. Finds support, loses it there. Finds resistance. Then we start losing this here. Now the key areas I'm looking for on this board ape one is this. So let's look at that. So if you see this low over here, this is where that's an SR support. Now it's a deviation. Get back up. Hold it. Resistance gets back up, and now we're playing it below here. Once we find resistance start breaking down, lose this low over here. Lose this particular low here, and then we're gonna be playing it all the way down to next targets. Next targets, I'd say probably this high here. That's about about 45 ETH, around 45 ETH. Once we lose 45 ETH, it's gonna be in this range over here, between 45 ETH to around 25 ETH, and that's the range we're gonna be playing, right? Any more dip, this is where I buy, and I'm gonna hold it as a long-term investment and see what happens next. So this is the range bound environment that the value of what board ape should be, which is coming back in. It's coming back in. These fast ass move are not healthy. It happened, yes, during the bull market. Bull market is bullish, no problem. But however, at the same time, when the market is going back down, we've got to play what the market is doing. I mean, fundamentally, you didn't fundamentals, right? Has an element, but in the fundamentals, it's not gonna tell you the top. You know, the fundamentals is gonna tell you, because what you don't want to do is you don't want to mix the idea of being bullish using fundamentals. It's a very easy psychological thing to fall into. It's like a little trap you fall into, which it happens, right? It happens to all of us. We all fell for it. I fell for it. You know what I'm saying? Like I've fallen for it as well. Like with the idea of bull. Like we've all done it. We've done it here. 2021. How many people were still bullish during 2022? I was one of them as well too. At the same time, when things fall over, you have to use technical analysis. You can't be looking at on-chain metrics as the fundamentals and saying, yeah, it's going to go up. Because otherwise, we've been using on-chain metrics, but we don't. We use technical analysis. So you can't say one or the other. There's one has power over the other. There's an element of both together. There's an element of technical analysis and fundamental in the bull season. There's an element of technical and fundamental in the bear season. And the same thing during consolidation. There's an element for all of it. So it's understanding, and which is what I said yesterday. If I've not met any individual who's great at both of them, who's like fucking amazing at both of them. I've not met an individual who can do that. Like what tends to happen is either you're good at one side or the other side. But if you guys can get better at both of them, by all means, man, let's fucking pop this shit, right? And I would love to follow your ideas 100%, because someone who can master both sides, it's like mastering desires. Mastering your desires is not an easy thing. We all want to buy Lamborghinis. When we have the money, you want to buy that Lamborghini. But how hard is it to say, you know what, I don't need to spend £200,000 on a Lamborghini. Instead, I'd rather buy, I'd rather set myself a business for home, for a long-term investment. It's very difficult, but if you can master it, that's freaking amazing. Shout out to you guys. Shout out to the fundamentalists as well. Shout out to them. I'm not taking anything away from them. They definitely have, especially in the bull market, looking for particular projects, understanding what the fundamentals behind a project is. They're gonna definitely have a huge value. Definitely, by all means. Anyway, let's move on. So, bro, crash is good. I think not having problem is bad because you're not testing limits in the network. Well, you don't see Ethereum having crashes, innit? You know what I'm saying? You don't see Ethereum having crashes. You don't see Bitcoin having a crash. You don't see, you know, like we saw BNB have a crash as well, but it's held itself. But BNB is the I think as an exchange they're gonna be number one. Binance, yeah, Binance blockchain. Yeah, BNB is gonna be number one. I mean, I remember seeing it at $20 at all time high previously, in 2017. I still remember that. I'll never forget that. And it was at a couple of dollars, less than dollars as well. It was like at cents when I was seeing it back in. Look at this. Yeah, 2017 was at like $1. Popped up right to 20. Yeah, told you $22, $23, $24 there. Consolidate back down. Look at this consolidation all the way here. Zoom up here. This is the range band environment as well. So this is the high right there, and this is the low right here, and clearly see how the price reacted. Again, once we do this, this is the high, this is the low, we have a deviation, we come back up, find resistance, do a deviation of the thingy of the range high, come back down, finds resistance, come back down into this area consolidation over here, holds above it. I can show you. You see it right there, kisses it quite perfectly as well, and then pops into the range high, smashes above there, start to show some bullishness as well. Once we take out this high, shows bullishness. Once we take out this high in particular, right here, reclaim a clean close above there. That's a clean close above there. We aim for these highs, and then that's it. Once we take out these highs, again, you can see this high here. What happened? Close above it, and we find support of here. It gave us a couple of weeks over here to give us an opportunity to enter, and bang, off it goes from $40, and he went all the way to like, I don't know how the fucking number was, like $300 or something like that. There's a good multiple there, very good multiple there. So you see, even in a bullish market, and bear in mind this is 2021. This is the very beginning of the bullish market, and like it was giving us some sort of technical ideas like, yeah, this entry is here because we're making higher highs as well. So market structure was on the bull side as well. So and that's it. So I think I would like to buy. I would like to see if it does come back to $40, $40, $50. I don't know if it does. I like it to happen. I do think we're gonna come back down. I think we'll come back to $47, $48, $50. I think it'll do, and I like to buy it back then. That's definitely a coin I'll be looking to actually buy. So that's BNB. I don't know why I went to BNB anyway. But yeah, BTC, we talked about BTC briefly. Did we talk about that? I think we did. I think I went off on a sidetrack note. Definitely went off on a sidetrack note. So yeah, we talked about like a pullback scenario and whatnot, and what we're looking for. So Ethereum, next one, we'll do Ethereum, and then we call it a day, and that's it. So I'm in the shorts on Ethereum, like I said. Nothing's changed for me. Same thing, right? So this in particular, right? If I do this on the 1 hour, so you guys can see what's going on. Actually, no, fuck it. Let's go on the daily. Really touch base on this. We know that's range low, that's range high, deviation, right? Come back up, find resistance, we come back down to mid range. Find a deviation in the mid range, right? Like this is a deviation in the mid range. It was resistance. Now my question is this, right? I'm gonna pose you a question, which most of you are not gonna like this. Whoops, what the fuck? Most of you are not gonna like this, right? But I'm gonna have to do it because you know why? You know, we need a sane mind to actually pose you a question and say, okay, what if this is gonna happen, right? So let's just do this. I'm gonna mark out these levels, and I just want you to think and just ponder for a second, and then you tell me what your opinion is. Okay, is it legitimate? Am I wrong? Am I being mad? You know, I like you guys to give me your idea what your ruling is as well, because I think what I want you to understand is this: what if this is it? What if this is the high and that's it? We're not gonna go any lower. I just want you to think that critically, right? I could be wrong. I could be well wrong. I'm just saying let's just think about it critically, okay? So we're in a range band environment, okay? Today what day? It's the fucking 28th of October. Okay? So when we play ranges, right, we play from range low to range high, so to mid range to range high. You guys heard me say this many times, right? And then we play from range high to mid range to range low. We agree with that. Everyone agrees with that, and I've said that many times. I've showed you many examples, and you know it is what it is. Okay, now we are all leaning on bullishness, which is not a problem there, right? But look at this here, right? So we had a breakout here. We had a breakout there. It looks really nice and clean and whatever. Okay. On a trend line basis, you know, like again, if we're all bullish, we're using trend lines, it looks really good and whatnot. What I want to say is, what happens is this. So we can expect, we come back to the 75% of the range, we found resistance up there, so we're coming back for a pullback. Why? Well, you see this little area of this candle over here, that's where it's finding resistance. Okay, so it makes sense for a pullback to where minimum we could say off this high here. That's what we're looking for. See how we react. If it's going to be bullish, hold into it, show bullish market structure, let's go, next target there, and then hold above it, and let's go up to range high and see what happened. I'll be definitely looking for 1700 area, the 1700 marker, because that's the second quarter range of 2021 range low, which is a macro range which we played for like about a year. Okay, so I'll be cautious of around that area, taking profits in that kind of area. So that's if we get bullish. Okay. But what happens if we come back down and we have a deeper pullback? The deeper pullback, which makes sense, is you see this particular candle here. Where's the 19th? The 19th is this candle there. So we had a range band environment right here. Right? Price range banded all the way here. Makes sense, okay? And then what we look for when we have consolidation, breakout, retest, expansion. That's what we like to see, right? So what if we come back down and we find resistance in here, and we do something like this, and we come back down to this range low, and that was just a deviation of the mid range, because we were playing from low to mid to high to mid to low. What if? I'm just saying what if. I'm not saying this is what's gonna happen, but what if? You always have to, like, for me, I always what I like to do really is to have both minds in play, because I can't be bull all the time. Otherwise, if I was bull right now, I'll be a bit. I would have taken the short. You know what I'm saying. So what if that's the case? What do you do then? And that was it. And we never really had, because the midterms in November the 4th, and we don't really have any more push. And not letting next start getting more bullish, because we know that from the beginning of the show we're looking at Monday's Monday's low is the area retest. But if we actually reclaim the Monday's low and come back to that mid range that we talked about on dollar index, and then start making higher highs and keep going, what happens then? What do we do? Like, would you say, oh nah, would you still be bullish? If price comes into here and comes back into this low over here, would you still be bullish? Daink coin, nah, it ain't gonna be no Daink coin. Come on, man, bro. It's gonna be a pump and dump. That's not, I don't do. We can't be doing pump and dump like that. So the next deviation at 900. So see, everyone's looking for 900 to 1,000, which makes absolute sense, because what happened is everyone's understanding that we lose this low, we come back down to here, and then all we've done, we made from the high, played to the mid. Yeah, we had a deviation. We've seen that plenty of time. We've seen deviations on mid ranges all the time, and then come back to range low. No, unfortunately, no Daink coin, unfortunately. But that's a possible scenario. I'm not saying this is what's going to happen. I'm prepared for it. Which is, if I'm prepared for it, that means you should prepare for it too. I'm prepared for this as a scenario. But like, if it happens, it happens. No problem. You can't be sad about it. We play it as it comes. Now, if it comes back, right, for me to be bullish, right, I'm quite happy, right, for price to have a deeper pullback into this area here. If it has a deeper pullback, but as long as you reclaim that 1440, holds market structure, and then we can say, yeah, let's go to this target there. This was my confirmation to play up highs, and then this is going to be confirmation for 1700, and then range highs. Then we'll see what happens. I mean, it just so happens that the 1700 marker is around here, just around here. Yeah, 1707, around that area. It just so happens there. That'll be the area there which I'll be looking for. You know, are we gonna make, you know, a lower high if we come up to here? Are we go lower high to smack down, or Are we going to come back up, do a deviation, then find resistance, and then smack it back down? I don't know. Or do we actually get back up, hold support, take out these highs, and go up higher? I'm prepared for all scenarios. It's not a problem. So that's what I'm looking for. Okay. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm gonna keep an eye on Ethereum. Ethereum itself, I am still in the short. Let's delete this. So I just want to make sure that it's all good though. 15 minutes. Now, which I briefly discussed in the stream early on, like like at the very beginning. See this area here? I want to see, like, this has got a hold for me. Right? This has got a hold for me. I can bring my stop loss from break even back down to here, or I can keep it over here as a bit of a yeah. I'll probably bring it down here as a what you call it, breathing space there, because price comes back up. I expect it to find resistance, come back down, and we can play it this way area here. But if he holds above it, find support, then that means we're gonna go back up. And this was just a retest of the mid range to shoot up higher. So I'm prepared for either scenarios, right? So actually, no, fuck it. Let me just move my thingy. Let me move my stop loss. I need to move my stop loss just in case. You never know, because we've made the low. It could be the low of the day on London. So this high here, it comes down to what number? 1536.41. So 1537. One second. I gotta do this. Yeah, cool. So I move my stop loss over here right now. My stop loss on the short is right here. I've taken some profits here. If I get stopped out, I get stopped out in profits, not a problem. And then I'm ready to play it back up on the upside. This is the range bound environment. We'll see what happens there, okay? So just trading my stops. Right. What time's it now? Done an hour and 7 minutes there. What I do want to talk about, right, as a special. So what it is, this stream is actually sponsored by our good friend volatile. Volatile is it's a meme token as well. I don't know if you noticed, a lot of the meme tokens have going on a mad one lately. Like World Cup Inu was one as well. This one popped up. It was brought to my attention, but I never got in, which is, you know, is what it is. I was speaking to a few friends last night actually about who's into the whole degenning the meme coins or whatever, and they were telling me they were still making a lot of money. So shout out to Voltino. Voltino is both on the Ethereum network and also on the BSC network as well. So what happened is, what happened is like with Volt, so they've actually reached on 45 central exchanges as well, including Bitstamp. You can see Mix Global. It's one of my favorite ones, MixC as well. Who, DigiFinex as well, a range as well, and they keep building. So like what happened is I think it was 2 weeks ago, the Voltoshi was talking about how he understands the bear market, and I like when someone understands that it is a bear market and he's willing to keep building, and someone who's willing to keep building in the bear market is definitely one to keep an eye on as well. So I'm gonna chart this as well. See what the potentials are on Voltino as well. So shout out to these guys as well. So, and also what's interesting about them, they just recently got, Enes Freedom. I don't know if you ever heard of Enes Freedom. He's a Boston Celtic player and NBA player. He was speaking about Voltino. He's got a partnership with them as well. So shout out to Enes as well. They have they've recently just smashed over. Let's have a look. 100k followers. Yeah, they got 108k followers there. They just smashed over 100k. So what they have it for a special moment right now. Actually, they have a tax-free event that is going on to celebrate that, the Twitter following passing over 100k marker. So let's probably find the tweet right here. Should be here. It's somewhere. It is somewhere. I love this. Is pretty cool though. This is really cool. You know what? The freaking community is quite like they go in heavy. Oh yeah, here you go. Enes Freedoms, it can be found speaking. You can check it out, Voltino on the Twitter page as well. Give them a check out as well. So it's really interesting with these guys, and showing this is quite interesting as well. So you know, they're Michael Jordan. They have a one of one NFT, which has also been sold for 60 Ethereum recently as well. So that's, you know, it's all got like these little things going on. They're building and this whole NFT, the whole NFT section on with Volt. They're here, and they're pretty interesting as well. So definitely check them out as well. I just want to have a look at the the chart itself. So as you can see from the chart from where they launch, it's obviously, yeah, let's bring this up now. You can see, let's change this color to white. We had a big ass pump over there. This was in the bull run, and obviously we all agree that we're in the bear market and everything's pulled back, right? So we had a pullback, and now we are establishing what we got in this consolidation. So price is consolidating here, right? So you can play this, right? If anyone's really interested in degens, I have a lot of members of the community who are really into like degens and memes and whatnot. But definitely check them out and see what what they're about. They're really cool as well. So got a range low over here. We've got a range high here. So as you can see quite clearly, Volt, right? This is the low. This is the high. Can you guys see that? Yep, you can see it. Cool. You know, pen back up, and we got these highs and lows there, and we have a deviation, resistance, deviation on the upside, support here, deviation, and we're finding support here. So it's all good there. This is on the daily. Now, if I were to play, how do you play it now? You time it with Ethereum, obviously. If Ethereum is going to go up, you can be certain that your alt's going to go up too as well. So like alts like you know, obviously your majors, your mids, your small caps as well. This one actually, they got like 40 million market cap as well, so it's quite interesting with these guys. So a big shout out to these Voltino guys. So now what you're looking for is this. I'll do a technical thing here. See this low over here? It's the last low right over here that I'm expecting for price is coming back into this low over here. As long as it holds this low here, hold support there, should be bullish market structure. I can enter in and I can look to play to the mid range. The mid range will be approximately around here. That's where the mid range will be. And it just so happens that you can see quite clearly deviation, support, deviation, support, support, support. Then we lose it by resistance. We do a deviation, resistance, come back to range low. Once we get to range low, we have a quick rally up to range high. Come back down, lose it by resistance. So then we already know at this area of the mid range, it's going to be resistance. So what we're looking for in terms of a trade, you're looking to go back into here. That'd be target 1. And I'll look, you know, see how it reacts. If you start holding above it, right, and if Ethereum starts going up, you know this is going to keep on pushing up on the upside. And what happens is we push up to range high, and then from range high we'll see what happens. And that's the trade from within this consolidation. Now, if Ethereum keeps on going up, going higher, what we can expect is we're going to get a breakout. If we get a breakout and you retest, we pull it up and we play it to the next set of levels. But for the time being, I want to focus between this area here, right, because we are playing between this area here, and after that we can then focus on this area there. So I'm keeping it on Volt. I'm keeping it on the trade itself, see what happens. Looking to get a buy into this area there. As long as we hold above it, then we can actually shoot up to mid range. So that's Voltino there. For the sake of you know, for everyone else, wait a second, I'm gonna do a few more alts as well, right? Just for fun. Also speaking about fun, I want to actually check out Doge coins, right? Because if we're looking at meme coins, let's look at Dogecoin as well. Doge, because we spoke about Doge popping up to 8 cents, which is during the, you know, if Elon buys it, I think we would pop up a little bit more and see what we can do in terms of a buy. Where's Doge? Where the fuck is Doge? Got it here. There we go, Doge. So Doge, looking at Doge, obviously we know Elon Musk. Let's come back to it's by the mid range, so I can't really look at buying at the mid range. I wouldn't look at buying in the mid range. It's from this area to this area here. Let's have a look. So that's the area. I want to see how this reacts, because this is a key area in my opinion. This 8.7 cents. I think this is going to be a key area. Oops, fuck it, make it black. Be a key area over here. So the question is, when we come back up, do we smash up and hold above it? If we hold above it, showing a bullish market structure, then we can start playing for the next set of targets. Then the next set of targets, we got I'd say I look at this area here at 11 cents, and after 11 cents, we look at around 12 cents, 12.5 cents. Because this is target 1, squeezing it into 12.5 cents. That will be a really good entry for me to enter in to play up to play this meme token on the upside, you know. But where I'll be a bit bearish about this is if we come back into this range high, because this is range high, this is range low, right? You see the mid range, how we're holding above it, and all we've done, we've consolidated in this area here, right? So we're playing between the high and the mid range. So if we come back up, right, let's say if we come back up and starts breaking down like that, this is an entry for me to short with a stop loss here. We play it back down into this area, back it, and then see into this consolidation, play it level to level, back into the mid range, squeezing it down here, and then we'll see if we can come down here. We don't know. We'll see what happens, but it all comes down to what Ethereum does. It is the monthly open, the monthly close is coming up, so I'll be a little bit cautious. I do expect a pullback coming up in the next couple of days. And whatnot. Okay, so then moving on, any more alts? We'll try and squeeze in a few more alts and then we're going to call it a day. Solana, right, let's look at Solana. Right, the guys in the DCC should actually know that I was looking to actually get a buy at range low. Okay, let's delete this off. Solana, we've got a range band environment here, right? So weekly range low, range high, and that's the mid range. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to actually go on to the 2 hours. Was it 2 hours? Nah, let's do 4. On the 4 hours, right? I'm just going to mark these levels out. That's range low, mid range. I did my bias hit though as well, which is nice. Remember we said in the group, looking for a pullback of $30.31. That's I had some buys of it. I had buys over here, so it's holding there. I'm holding some position there. If I have to cut the trade, I'll cut the trade. We'll see how it works out there. That's 25% of the range, and that's 75% of the range. And let's just hide all this. Let's have a look at what's going on there. So what happened is, this is range high. Oops, change the colors. This is range low, and this is range high. We have a deviation there, and we come back there, support, and this is all a deviation of the range low. Okay, so now, as long as we hold this range low, I'm happy to hold above it, right? As long as it shows bullish market structure, we're playing up to where I want to see how we react off this, because this is an area it's going to find some resistance. If I see Ethereum actually, breaking down, let's continue breaking down, and that's the top of the Ethereum, and the top is Ethereum, then what will happen is price will come back up, come back down, and break down, and I have to you'll have to end up losing the cutting the trade completely. Okay, so Shiba. Oh yeah, we want to look at Shiba as well. Since we're looking at thingy at some beams, that's cool. So So that's what I'm looking for, but I'm going to be quite cautious here at the same time what BTC and Ethereum is doing. But what I'm looking for is this. See this high here? Break out this high, get the market structure going, reclaim this 25% of the range. Once we reclaim above this, then we can squeeze into the mid range. From the mid range, we'll see how we react. If we start holding above it, bullish market structure, there's going to be a choppiness on the mid range. Then we can squeeze to 75% range and then range high. And then from there, we'll see what happens. That's the trade done. And then if we get back above it, hold above it, let's go for higher prices. But in the meantime, all I'm doing at the moment is focusing within this range. Once we break out of this range, on the upside or downside, then we'll play either way. So that's one. That's what I'm looking for Solana there. So who else we're looking at? Shiba. Let's look at Shiba. Good old Shiba. Shiba Inu. Let's have a look. So this is a previous range high. I'll drag this across there. Smash the likes, everybody, man. Really appreciate you guys actually being on the show as well. Good. So with Shiba Inu, this is a range band environment. Where's the range band here? It's from this. From the very beginning, after when the listing of Binance, then we start pumping over here. This was a range band environment before we had the breakout, and it's come back as a retest, deviation, and the moment we're above the range high. Okay, so it's all good. It's looking quite decent there. Does it look like it's breaking out? I mean, if I were to draw a trend line from this to this here, no, not just yet. I mean, confirmation is once we get back above it and reclaim this high there, hold above this, then I can say, yeah, we can target this area here, right? So that'll be the next set of targets there, which means like it's literally this low here. That'll be the next set of targets there. Then we go to this high over here and work our way up there. So working this out, right? So you can see, let's just move it like that. There we go. We got a range bound environment. If I hide everything off, let's just have a clean empty chart and we play this out as it is. We got a range low right here. And we got a range high right there. Mid range comes about not a bit lower than that, probably around here. Not a bit lower than that. So around here. That's where the mid range is. Okay. So we are finding support. So you know how we have this support over here, resistance over there, right? Because from this high there, and we find it's all choppy there. We lost it there. Come down support, deviation, whatnot. Once we broke out of this high, it shows us some bullishness there. And the thing is, where did that pullback from the mid range, right? Where did it come up to? It come up from this. So that's found support. It's going towards the mid range, so I wouldn't look at longing just yet. I'll be patient. I'm just waiting for what happens now. As we come to the mid range, what I want to see is if we can hold above it, right? Then I'll be looking to take longs to play where? To the range high. From the range high, see what happens. Do we get up and hold above it and go up higher than as we discussed for the lows over here, or is this a deviation and come back down and we play it back down to mid range, range low, and keep playing this range until proven otherwise, and we'll see what happens next. Okay. Right then, and that's Shiba for you. So we've done Shiba, we did Volt, we did Doge, we did Solana. That's 4. I'm gonna Theta. Let's have a look at Theta quickly, and I'm gonna call it a day. Okay. Theta USDT. Now Theta, if you remember Nader, I wanted us to get into this range, right? And you were in the range, and I said once we get back into it, and you can see, oops, delete. And I was saying once we get back into the range, right, we can play it up high, right, back to 25% of the range. And it just so happens, right, that you see this high here. We've taken out this high there. Originally we found some resistance, get back up high, and we're finding support. So now it looks like we're pushing up, take out this liquidity there, and come into this 25% of the range. Now what I would like to see is price to get back up and hold and reclaim this area, and then we can go to the mid range. The mid range is going to be quite key. It's going to get choppy. I want to see how we react. If we start breaking down, we have to cut the trade because we come back to 25% of the range. But if we start getting bullishness, then, like I said, back up to 75 to range high. And that's the trade done there. So that's what I'm looking for Theta. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see what happens with Solana, not Solana, Ethereum, and the market as a whole. So let's have a look quickly because even though I'm on that trade as well. So I want to see how we react. I mean, I'm still leaning towards bearishness, coming back down as a deeper pullback. So I've still got my shorts on Ethereum. Nothing's changed at the moment. But we'll see what happens next over the next couple of hours or so. Especially we come, what? It's 11:43 now, so we got New York Opens coming up as well. So we'll see what New York happens. If this is the low of the day, then we should spend no time to rally back up. And if I get stopped out in profits, then I look at playing the market within this range here as soon as we break out on the upside. Because with Ethereum, once we start to break out on the upside, all we're doing is playing it level to level. That's target 1, target 2. That's the mid range. Mid range is 1694. The mid range is between the range high of July's range and the 75% of the range. And it just so happens that 1700 mark I was talking about, that's the key point that I'm looking for. If we reclaim and hold above it, let's go up to the next set of targets there and then to range high. Okay. No, I don't. I think the live videos. Once the live videos is up, it's there. It's on YouTube as well. It comes up to the YouTube channel straight away. So you guys can always, even if you miss the channel, missed the show, you can always catch it up afterwards. So that's it for me, guys. I really appreciate you coming on. So yeah, smash the likes, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and we'll see how the market reacts over the next couple of days. Especially today. All key, cool. We'll see what happens in New York. So take care of yourself. Have a happy Friday. Take it and have a great weekend. Stay safe, and I really appreciate you guys coming on. Take care, guys.